Hello students, again I welcome all of you to my YouTube channel RDN Education Hub. You are well accustomed with that your particular YouTube, I think. Yesterday I had a chat with you about first paper of +2 first year, that is Foundation on Education. But while I opened my telegraphic message, I found that most of my well wishers, particularly the students and knowledge seeker, wanted to have some your views about the second paper, that is Foundation of Education second, and taking into view that particular thing, what is the intention of my your viewers, I wanted to switch over my your discussion towards the second paper, and that is related to unit 1 of education, that is contribution of educators. And in that your particular chapter unit you can find Mahatma Gandhi, Pandit Gopabandhu Das, Sri Aurobindo, Jean-Jacques Rousseau and John Dewey. So initially I would like to give some introduction about that your contribution of educators, and on the basis of that we will continue later on relating to your other chapters, what is very much given in that particular unit. Alright, let me take you to some your eyebird's view that we were there under the reign of Britishers more than 200 years, that you know, all of you, and the Britishers oppressed us, suppressed us, and you're treated like anything, like animals. While in 16th century the Britishers came to India as a trader, and they established East India Company in 16th century. Since then they had an intention to suppress us through their administration, and diplomatically they ruled over us for many years. However, they were not taking interest on the education of Indians, and we were illiterate, and we did not have any choice before them because of their administrative power and superficial administration. However, in the meanwhile the Christian people came to India. They realized the situation that most of the part of India was under the reign of the Britishers. That is why the Christian people, they took an indirect measures. They tried to go to the remote villages and wanted to provide education to the poor people. Just taking those views in critical sense, the Britishers realized that we should do something for the education of the Indian people. That is why they wrote a letter to Queens of England in 1813, and ultimately Queens of England allowed to spend at least 5 lakhs rupees per annum in the education of the people of India. However, the Britishers and particularly the administrators in India, they discriminated to provide education to the people of India. That is why only the influential and affluent people, they got opportunity for education. However, a minimum percentage of people were capable to get education. However, because of that, little consciousness came to the mind of the people, and those your conscious people wanted to get rid from the bondage of the British rule at any cost. And eventually many freedom fighters came out from that consciousness of education, among which Mahatma Gandhi is one. As you know that Mahatma Gandhi had a tremendous contribution towards the education of India. Particularly, he has having the practical utility in his education, what was very much required in that particular situation, in order to remove the people from the bondage of your poverty towards the enlightenment. However, Mahatma Gandhi, before going to start the education of Mahatma Gandhi, let us have a brief idea about him and about his life. As you know, you are all well conscious that he was born on 2nd October 1869 at Porbandar of Gujarat in a Baniya Vaishnav family. In 1888, while he became young, you can say, left for England to take law degree, and ultimately returned on June 1891 from London to home, India. Then he started law practice there in Mumbai, Rajkot specially. But in the meanwhile, after 2 years, in 1893, two Abdullah brothers of South Africa invited him for a case there in South Africa. That is why, taking into consideration the request of those Abdullah brothers, Mahatma Gandhi left for South Africa in 1893. Anyway, he spent there for long 21 years, and he realized the discriminating policy of the Britishers, particularly the white people, how they oppressed and suppressed the common people, particularly the black people. And one day, Gandhiji himself come across such a type of situation while he had been to Pretoria from Durban. So, at that very moment, there was train your journey system there. That is why Gandhiji took a first class ticket there, and he started his journey from Durban to Pretoria, and his ticket was of first class basis. So, in the meanwhile, on the way, a TT came and driven him out forcibly from his position, from his coach, and that was night time. The night was very much chilly, and Gandhiji had no option. He spent the whole night in chilly weather. Then he realized that how the white people treated the black people there. That is why a sort of consciousness came to his mind, and he wanted to come back to India to take part in the freedom movement, so that India will get free from the bondage of the Britishers. So, finally, Gandhiji left for India in July 1940. Then, after In South Africa, Mahatma Gandhi lived for long 21 years, and then after having a bundle of knowledge regarding the discrimination policy of the white people, they came back to India in 1940. After coming to India, he stayed there at Santiniketan. Niketan for few moment. However, in that your staying period, he learned the lesson regarding humanity. Humanity in the sense, he just realized the value of peace, morality and spirituality. However, after few days he left to Gujarat, and in 1917 he established his own ashrama there near Sabarmati river, that is Sabarmati river, and the name of that ashrama was Satyagraha Ashrama. So, as I said, it was on the banks of Sabarmati river. There he wanted to put forward the value of education, value of humanity, value of treatment of the people and social responsibilities, economical reformation, and to promote freedom struggle. In order to realize everything and in order to provide opportunity to the people to realize those your things from their core of heart, Mahatma Gandhi started to put forward newspapers. In 1933, he published an English newspaper named Harijan. Then in Gujarati language he published another newspaper, that is Harijan Bandhu, and still another that is related to Hindi language, and the name of that newspaper was Hindi newspaper was Harijan Sevak. In those your papers he put forward the message to the people of India about their social responsibilities, their economical equality and different types of discrimination what is being made by the people. On the other hand, he also hinted and induced the freedom struggle to the maximum level. However, this your attempt of Mahatma Gandhi basically put forth new horizon in the field of education. So, if we just go to the deep level of the Mahatma Gandhi's personality, then we can find that Mahatma Gandhi was a great leader of a special repute, you can say. And most amazingly, he was a practical philosopher. Practical philosopher means what is your possible in India and what should be done in India and what is useful in India. That those things will be given emphasis so that Indian will get benefit in maximum in prompt way. On the other hand, Mahatma Gandhi was a political reformer. He was a staunch politician, you can say. He was a man of apostle of peace. What is being learned by him from different sources, like from the treatment of the South Africa black people. Then while he came back to India, he learned the issues there in the ashrama of Shantiniketan of Rabindranath Tagore, and he also learned the value of non-violence. He realized that with the help of violence nothing can be achieved, only bloodshed can be possible there. So, as an anchor of freedom struggle, he put forward those issues of peace, non-violence, and the policy of satyagraha. He was a great statesman. He was an educationist. In a line, he was an idealist, naturalist, and pragmatist. And as a strong believer of God, he is a theist. He is a man of morality. And while he mixes him with the common people, he put forward the issues like dignity of labor, because without your dignity of labor, without karma, without deeds, we cannot create Ramarajya. So, in order to favor the downtrodden people, economical equality should be brought up immediately. What was the feeling of Mahatma Gandhi? He was a strong follower of yoga and exercises. Without physical exercises, we cannot achieve a good physique, and without good physique, mental promotion cannot be possible. That is why he wanted to put forward the issues of physical your strength through the help of yoga, asana, and physical exercises. On the other hand, he put forward his issues towards the villagers, because the villagers are the innocent people and their economical reformation is highly required. That is why he opposed the machine and technological society, and in place of that he invited the local people for cottage industries and different types of craft centered education. So, like this, he became a world figure as a whole. That is why he became very famous among the people, among the educationists, and as a freedom fighter he tops the list. Without him, without his effort, our freedom struggle might not be fruitful one perhaps. However, as an educationist, he was a great reformer, we can say. Just realizing the issues of the people of India, he put forward craft centered education, Nai Talim Sikhya, or what you say, the Wardha scheme of education. So, in the next your videos, we will talk about Mahatma Gandhi's educational philosophy in a vivid manner. And before wind up your videos, let me congratulate you all, because for your initiation, for your promotion, I am here now. I am trying my level best to make you convinced about the thing, and I am awaiting your suggestion, what you have sent through telegraphic message. You have subscribed my channel. That is why I am very much obliged for that. So, till the next video, I will remain here. Till then, goodbye.